for those of you who watched the last video, this is a continuation of that, where I put a piece of tracing paper over the frame drawing and kept my vanishing point if I needed to go back to refer to it, and then just quickly put in the lines. So a couple of things I wanted to point out is when I was doing the last video, the back here of my sofa, my sectional, didn't turn out quite right. And I noticed that I made this 3 feet deep, 3 feet high, and in the back of the seat, I actually made it 4 feet deep. So it just kind of askewed everything there in the back. And so I just played around with it and corrected it. And then, you know, to soften that mistake, let's let's go ahead and put some pillows in the corner. So a couple things, I did put an area rug underneath my grouping to anchor the seating area. I added just some quick shelving. Always think about your vanishing point. So here's the vanishing point and then the horizon line. If this is where the eye is hitting, you would see just slightly the bottom of the shelf. The middle shelf falls right on the horizon line, so you would just see that straight across, and the shelf that's slightly below the horizon line, you would just see a little sliver of the top of that. So I'm just going to do a double line to indicate some of that. Same thing if you're looking up, you'll see a little lip on the frame of the slider. The shade on our lamp the bottom falls right on the horizon line, so that'll be straight across, and then maybe a small curved ellipse on the top. This is a very simple Parsons table, so if you want to look up a Parsons table or a Parsons console table, just simple square block legs, and you can take a look at that as I'm drawing that in. This is the low coffee table with a second table that, like a tray that goes up and over. Here's the horizon line again and the vanishing point. And this side of the coffee table falls right on that horizon line, so it's flat where it goes up and then to the vanishing point. That is correct, even though it looks a little funky. We have 1, 2, 3, and there's actually 2 seat cushions that come back, which I didn't note. So how am I going to find the center of that? I'm going to do a quick X. Horizontal lines are horizontal. And then that's going to come down. I made my media cabinet with a sliding door, a small television that goes over, and then a piece of art above. I found where exactly the middle of this table was on the grid, which was, I believe, like 4 or 5 feet in. And so I came 4 or 5 feet in on the grid at the ceiling, so I knew right where to put the top of that. So basic layout, I'm just going to go in with a simple Sharpie and just see how it goes. Remember, everything, even though I don't have the grid, I know that everything goes to my vanishing point. So the top of the ceiling. Horizontal lines are horizontal. Vertical lines are vertical. So here you can see that this part of the wall comes forward, nice fingerprints. This part of the wall goes back. Just putting in my walls first. Horizontal lines are horizontal, so I'll put the base. There's the back wall. Here it is moving forward. So what if I wanted just to put a baseboard? I could have gone and looked at my grid, but I know that's about 3 or 4 inches. So I just come up to the vanishing point, right where it hits that back wall. Then a horizontal line goes over. I could take a horizontal line straight across to this side from this point to here, or I could just eyeball what looks about the same on this side. We have a nice baseboard then here. If this is where your eye level is, you would just see a top. I'm just doing this freehand, but you would just do a double line because you would see just a little bit of thickness on the top of your baseboard. So go look at your baseboards at home. I could do the same thing if I wanted a molding around the ceiling. Remember, again, we have a base and then we have some cushions. You can slope this slightly if you wanted to. I made it kind of industrial and not too comfy looking, just to work within the cube. So I'm just going to draw. That goes to the vanishing point. It hits the back. It's a horizontal line across. Goes to the vanishing point. Comes down. So now I went along the back. Then I have a comfy cushion. That's going to go around. Right, so you see the tops of the cushions there. Here's your cushion coming down. This goes back to the vanishing point, right? So I found my 3-foot marks that I made on my footprint in highlight, and so I can see where my cushions. Right, there's my cushions. Horizontal lines are horizontal. They come down. They could also go up if you want them to go up. Back if you want them to go back. Something like that. I did about 4 feet, 4 inches, 4 inches tall feet. Maybe this is a nice shaggy flickati rug. Maybe I go over it in the front here to make some suggestion of some thickness. So now we are going to do that base table. I wanted it, instead of just being a block that sat right on the carpet, I wanted to have a bit of, I don't know, a bit of a rise here, a bit of a foundation. So I just brought some vertical lines in on either side just to make the suggestion that it's raised. So if you can see that, vertical lines are vertical. perspective lines, goes back to the line of perspective. Remember here it's straight on the vanishing point, so it just goes straight down. And then horizontal lines are horizontal. Then this table goes up and over. There's going to be some thickness on the side. So it's to the left of the vanishing point. So you're going to see just a little bit of thickness as it goes up and over. To the vanishing point as it goes back. So right, it comes a little below in perspective the base, and it goes a little past the top of this, so that it really makes a suggestion that it's moving up and over. The media cabinet, I pretty much just enclosed the two 4-foot cubes. I put a cross in it to find the center, and I just played around with it a little bit to make it look like there's some thickness that goes around, and then that's a sliding cabinet. A TV, just put a TV over there and just do a double line indicating that there's some thickness. Horizontal lines are horizontal, so then where that thickness is, it's just a horizontal line that goes across. So I'll finish that up. Then I'll go through and just make the suggestions of some planked floors. In this case, I just followed the grid. So these are 12 inches spaced. Those are pretty wide planks. Most flooring doesn't come that wide, so really there should be another line between the two. But that's okay, just giving the suggestion of a planked floor. If you want to do more details, you can. We always want to put a little bit of suggestion of maybe a little bit of a horizon line, and then we'll put some plants in there and finish the drawing off. Maybe you want to put a few things on the table. I won't for this quick study. And then we'll be finished. Again, if you want to have nice vertical lines and horizontal lines, continue working on the grid so you can see that under there, or if you have a straight edge that you want to work with, a straight edge or a bar. I can see that my lines are a little bit of askew. I'm okay with that because it feels like more of a sketch to me. But if you really want straight plumb lines, then you're going to have to use more of a straight edge. Really tall, these look about 8-foot tall doors, or if this is a 9-foot ceiling, 7-foot doors. There's an indication that there was a handle there. So I'm just going to go through the legs again. They're block legs, so there's the side, that's the cube that we started with. Horizontal lines are horizontal, so on the top, here and here, nice horizontal lines. So on the same for the feet will return horizontally here, here, and here. And then they go back to perspective, so in perspective, the bottom of these feet should all line up in the line of perspective, as should they here on the base. And then you go ahead and fill that in so that they do have some nice blocked thickness. And you could even put a piece of tracing paper over this again, now that I have more details and I'm figuring things out a little more. You could put another piece of tracing paper over this again and make even better of a drawing. I don't do that just because, I mean, I've messed up in a couple of places. I'm not going to point out everything to you, but you know, I've messed up here and there. And I would probably just scan that and fix those little mistakes in PowerPoint or in Photoshop or something. So for now, I'm really good with that. But if you wanted a really nice drawing, then put yet another piece of tracing paper over this and carry on. Horizontal lines are horizontal. Let's go back to the vanishing point. You're going to look down just a little bit into the top of the pot. Don't forget some of your earlier changing, hit, go, hit, crossing over the edge. Make some more interesting drawings. Punch line, profile line. Double line. If you want to put some, I think, horizontal lines here to make the suggestion of some wood siding. I think that was there. Don't get too carried away with showing things out, please. Outside, just put a couple little things indicating that something is out there. You can go in and add some more shade and shadowing. Scan and you're done. I forgot baseboard on that back wall, so I'll add some baseboard back there. You can go through with your markers, or you can go through and shadow. Horizontal lines are horizontal, so I can see where my back base hit the back wall, so I want to be consistent. All right, so there you go. Add some more detail. carry on. This could be an underdrawing, and you could put another piece of trace on top of this and make even a more beautiful sketch. Thank you. I hope you're getting a feel for 1-point perspective so that next week we can move in and work on 2-point perspective. If you have any questions, please do contact me. But here you have a pretty good start for a really nice 1-point perspective of the West Elm living room.